Hey guys, so I want to put another putting review out, part two, and respond to a question I got, which was what you can see right here. When you're gauging the break and checking how many cups it will turn, what is the technique? It took me a little while. I kind of had to restart making this video a couple times because it's a little bit hard to explain, but basically, after a while, when you're playing at the speed of putts that I do with the formula, you kind of can see with your eyes the speed of the putt. At least I can. I don't know if that's a hard thing for people to do, but I'll go in that reverse chip view, and like I had said previously, I'll go in reverse chip view, kind of put my eyes up and down the line of the putt, and I'll figure out based on the speed that I'm hitting it. So if it's downhill, if it's a downhill putt, and I know it's going to move slower, then my eyes move a little bit differently down the line, and I can just kind of see. I don't know if it moved down. I don't know if the right word is to say I'm moving down the line of the putt. I'm just looking at the putt and seeing how hard the ball is going to roll off the putter, which is going to be softer downhill. And I just assess. So obviously it's going to be quicker to where you're going to have to aim at the edge of the cup or shorter distance. So let me see if I can show you it this way. So right here, say this were 15 inches down from, or 10 inches down from 20 feet. So I'd be thinking, okay, this is how fast my putt's going to come off my putter. How fast the ball's going to come off my putter. About this fast. And so I can see right about here then would be where I'd want to aim at the edge. Now if it's a flat putt like this, then I know I'm going to hit the ball pretty solid, so it's going to move, about this fast. And so it's kind of a thing where it's a little bit of a trial and error, and you kind of learn as you go the more you do it to what works with your eyes and everything. But I would recommend using the formula that I showed in my other videos, which was 0.68 distance times 0.68, so 15 feet times 0.68, and then plus 1. Okay, so this is going to give you, let me just hit the putt here and show you what I mean. See if I can do something to make it easier. So 11.25. So another thing I want to show you is it's so easy with these these increments with this putter. But anyway, let me just hit it real quick. So you see how fast that came off the putter? So at that speed, I would have assessed that's how fast it's going to move. And then I move my eyes up and down the line and figure out where it's going to break. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm probably not making any sense at all, but let me just go over this a couple times. So before I start on the next part, on the next putt here, uh, I think that you said you're thinking about going to the 98 sabertooth. I think that's a good move, if you're willing to put the credits down. If you're going to try to putt the way that I do, and I think that it would be the most useful to have the same putter, because obviously it works well for me with the way I'm reading the green. So, and you can kind of play miss the ding style a little bit. It's just going to be a lot more forgiving. And so you can't aim as far, basically you have to aim a little bit more break than you would with the less forgiving putters. That seems so obvious, but it's just very minute, and you're going to lose a lot more distance if you have to move. Say that to get the right line, you have to miss all the way to here, or miss this far to get it to break correctly, then it's just going to take off too much distance. So anyway, I think it's smart to go to the level 98 putter. So I would definitely do that. So here we go. Let me just hit a couple putts here. 21.4. So imagining how hard my putt's gonna go, the speed of it. I'm looking down the line of my putt and just imagining. So it's going to come off pretty quickly because it's a long putt. So at first it's probably not going to take a lot of break. So really all the way up to about here, there's maybe just barely on the left edge of the cup so far. And to about right here it starts breaking again. So picturing how fast the putt's going again, I'd say right about here is half a cup. And then we get to about a cup and a half, 2, so just about 2. And then looking again from the front view. So actually it's showing a little bit to the right to the left putt. So I think this breaks about, again, we're going to split the difference. I'm going to say it's just 1 cup. And to get to 21.4, let's see here, this is 22.5. So this then would be 21.25, right in between 22.5, 21.25, so right there. And we want to hit at 21.4, so right about in here. That worked out. We'll do one up here. You can kind of go back and forth too. Like I said, that I know you don't like the increments of the Daytona level 55, but it's cheap. It's only 700 credits, and you can get used to it. I didn't like it for a while, but the 30 meter is the best one by far, and I think that 90 meter it could work pretty well too, in this maybe the 60. But you know, if this, I would definitely buy the 98 level and see how it goes, and definitely get the. I think you said you use it with the other one, the 10, 20, 50 increment putter, but definitely make sure you get that correct increment when you go to the level 98 because there's 2 different ones. So anyway, I'll stop blabbing here again and try to read this again. So first thing you do, reverse chip, and I like to take the flag out. This is kind of a routine, but so I'm picturing how fast is that ball coming off my putter again. And so right off the bat, it's coming off very strong. So that break initially is not going to do a whole lot. So right away, I think that right about here is half, or to the edge. And then a little further down to about here, I'd say is half a cup. And then I keep on putting my eyes all the way down the line of the putt, all the way to the hole. So I think it's just going to be a little more than half a cup. And again, look at the front view. And just think, if it's going to miss anywhere, I think this is a really key thing. If the putt is going to miss, where do you think it's going to miss? Is it going to miss to the, just picture it. It's almost, after a while when you do this and you get good at it, it's almost like a sixth sense, and you can almost feel right before you're going to hit it where it's going to miss. It's kind of a weird thing. I don't know if that's just me. But right now, I actually don't have a feeling either way. I think this is a pretty decent read. So I'm just going to hit it and go for the ding, and hopefully it's the right thing. So here's 20 feet right here. See, a little bit off, but it's pretty spot on most of the time. So And just to show you the increments, I'm sure you already know this, but I don't know if you use Putter Pal. I've not seen you play. But here's, what is it here? Here's 2 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet. So right here, it's really easy to get the math right with my formula. So definitely stick to that increment putter. Go a little bit shorter. .5. So I'll hit it about, I think the best speed for kind of a medium length putt like this, you don't want to overhit it, but you want to make sure it's aggressive enough. I think this just barely gets to the hole, so my speed that I usually hit it after this formula will be almost 1 extra, but I like to go about 0.8. Okay, so yeah, right about 9.3. I think it's a really good speed. And then when I get into the range of like 6 feet, or I have to hit it, I mean about 5, 6 feet, then I'll crush it like usually 1 foot extra, if not a little bit more, to 1.5, and then I'll play it to miss the ding sometimes. But this putt, you just got to kind of finesse it in. So think about how hard the putt's going to come off. It's a flat putt, so it's going to be, and I'm being a little aggressive, so it's going to come off with some pace here. So it's going to take a little while to where you need to aim to the edge. So right about here, I think, is about the edge. Then a half a cup, then a cup. So I'm just going to go a little bit over a cup. About edge right here. Half a cup, cup, cup and a half. I wonder if I've made... I feel wrong about this one. Hold on. So you don't want to overanalyze it too. You just want to go with what your eyes see at the first glance. I don't usually go back and relook at it, but I'm doing that anyway right now. So yeah, right here is edge, half a cup, cup. So it's about a cup and a half. .3. So I don't like to take it back this far usually, but it's just easier, I think. Usually I try to take it in here. So this 50, it's kind of a little tricky to get the, maybe you can make your own grid. I know some people have an overlay thing to get it precise, but so this is right here. I think that's like 6 right in there, and then here 8 is right in there, and then 9 is about there. So if you want to be really aggressive, just hit it for 10. You can use that increment, but if you want to be really precise, I'll just go back, like I said, up to the 20-foot scale, and here's 9 right there. And the 9.3 is going to be right about there. So just the right amount of speed, almost too much. .16-footer, let's see, or 21-footer hit at 16. So look, thinking about how fast the ball's coming off the putter. It's even again, so it's going to be pretty quick. I wish I had some downhill putts so I could show you how I do it with that, but I picked an easy green. So all the way to about here, there isn't really anything going on. Then it starts to really kick in. So Right about there's edge, half a cup, cup. I think it's about a cup and a half. And so the longer the putt gets and the more uphill, this formula that I have, it's not perfect for the longer ones. You have to kind of not play as aggressive. So it says to hit at 16 here. Normally with some putts I'd go like 16.8 to be really aggressive, but this now is going to go past the hole by 3 feet probably. So you don't need to go much past that first calculation. So 16, I know that right here is 17.5. So right in between there will be 16, let's see here, 16.25. So right about underneath that. Didn't want to miss late, but that would have been right. Probably at center cup if I'd hit the ding. Let's go back. Putt. Should be about the same putt here, so right about here is when it starts breaking. So then you just go up from the aim marker here, read it from that point. Edge, half a cup, cup, cup and a half. So if you get a really good reading like this, just almost spot on 15, then go up to the 100, and then it's really easy. So that's 10 feet, that's 20, so just go right in between there. It's a little easier to get the ding. So I always overplay that break on the putt, even when I'm playing around, now that I think of it, so it just doesn't break quite as much as it looks. You have to make note of those occurrences, but it's going to work for you. It sounds like it's already working for you pretty well. So just keep at it and you'll get used to the speed of the formula that I have if you want to use it. Or just, you know, whatever method you use to get the distance for the putts, just try to memorize and really pay attention to how fast that ball comes off the putter face. And the more you see it, the better you'll get at kind of guessing, making a rough estimate. And that's really good enough for that style of reading the greens. Just need to make a kind of a guesstimation. So probably right about to here is where you need to aim to the edge of the cup. And then you see it's kind of breaking back the other way. So it's double breaker. I think it amounts to be about just flat. So hopefully that covered what you're missing there, or what you didn't understand about my last review, and you can make a little more sense of things. So, all right, man, have a good Sunday. Hope you guys all have a good Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon.